alleged killer while he was in jail. Accused murderer, 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark, has been charged with the cold-blooded murder of popular Migos rapper Takeoff. Ever since his arrest in December of 2022, the alleged murderer has maintained his innocence. His arrest came just days after police charged another suspect, Cameron Joshua, with unlawful possession of a weapon. Joshua is believed to have witnessed what happened on the fateful day Takeoff got shot, although the authorities don't believe he was responsible for the rapper's death. They got solid reason to believe Clark is the real culprit. Clark, who has no previous criminal conviction, is accused of firing multiple gunshots into a crowd and fatally striking Takeoff at a private party in a bowling alley. He was arrested after the authorities discovered he was planning to travel to Mexico. He was found with a large amount of cash in his possession when he was taken into custody. The suspect appeared in probable cause court in downtown Houston on December 2nd, 2022, as he was surrounded by officers with the Houston Police Department. During the hearing, it was revealed that Clark was identified as the suspected shooter due to surveillance footage, cell phone videos, as well as fingerprints from a wine bottle he is alleged to have held during the shooting and then discarded at a nearby house of blues. Clark faces life in prison if found guilty of murder. He also has to deal with the possibility of getting jumped by other inmates who happen to be fans of the popular rap trio Migos. His financial situation is also proving to be a big problem. On December 5th, he asked the court for financial assistance to hire a private investigator to help prove his innocence. He and his defense team had found a certain private investigator who was willing to take on the job at a reduced rate of $85 per hour. According to his motion asking for assistance, he had exhausted all finances to pay for his attorney, who has agreed to a substantially reduced rate. The motion was granted on December 9th, with the judge allowing the maximum of $5,000 in fees and expenses to be paid to the private investigator. The Harris County Sheriff's Office was also ordered to allow the private investigator to visit Clark with necessary equipment like a laptop, printer, and recording device to help gather information and evidence regarding the investigation. Concerned citizen prosecutors asked that the suspect's bond be set at $2 million because they believed he was a flight risk. After all, he had obtained an expedited passport with plans to travel to Mexico before his arrest. Clark's defense team argued that the bond was excessive and unconstitutional, and that his family would be unable to pay even 10% of the amount which is legally required to post bond. Clark's father, Joseph, took the witness stand and told the court that his son had pre-existing plans to travel out of the country with family members. He also offered to use their family home as collateral in an arrangement with a bail bonds company. On December 14, 2022, the Harris County Court agreed to reduce the bail amount from $2 million to $1 million. According to the bond conditions, Clark is required to remain under continuous house arrest and wear a GPS monitoring device. He's also required to stay away from Takeoff's family. The bail money would eventually be paid, and Clark would be released from jail on the 4th of January. Clark's lawyer, Letitia D. Quinones, revealed to the press that neither Clark nor his family posted the bond. Apparently, an unnamed concerned citizen came to the rescue. She said a concerned citizen and family friend who believes in Patrick's innocence posted the bond on his behalf. A document showing Clark's arrangement with the bail bonds company was filed in court, but its details were not made publicly available. Although Clark has not been previously convicted, he was connected to a shooting that took place at a nightclub in February of 2018. The incident resulted in one death. Clark was considered a suspect at the time, but luckily, a grand jury failed to indict him. This time around, however, Clark faces a much more daunting challenge if he must prove his innocence in Takeoff's tragic death.